Hey there, friends. Nibs again. Out in the garage doing a little bit of goofing around today. It is another wet and rainy, raw day in upstate New York. So it's supposed to clear up later, so maybe we can get this guy out and do a little bit of testing with it. If not, I may run over to the garage, the other garage, and get a little bit of distance. But I wanted to do a quick video for you guys this morning on this one, hopefully quick. This is the new Crosman F4, which is their new nitro piston. I think it's been out for about a year now, it seems like, from what I've been seeing online. But it is a very budget friendly, less than $100, including tax, less than $100 out the door from Walmart. But it's got some real weight to it. But this is a nitro piston, 177 caliber brake barrel. Does come with a little scope, and that's part of what we're going to do here this morning, is get that scope mounted up. It does have a integral suppressor. YouTube, I am not making any modifications to this gun in this video. Please don't demonetize my video. But we're gonna mount the scope that actually comes with the gun in the box, and then we're just gonna take a couple shots across the chrony, see what it's doing. It claims up to 1,000 feet with lead pellets and up to 1,200 feet with alloy pellets, and we are gonna test that today. But first thing we're gonna do is mount the scope up. I didn't bring out my top camera here, but I think we can get this done just by showing you guys over here. I'll show you guys how I do this. I do like that I may swap this scope out down the road, but I do like the rings that come with it. It does have a stop pin in it. And the other thing I noticed is the front ring only has one clamping bolt, but the rear ring has two clamping bolts, so they're pretty serious about this thing staying in one spot. So the first thing you want to do is remove the upper clamps of the rings. Make sure you don't lose the bolts. We're going to do a couple of trigger pulls with this guy too. This does have the trigger that is able to be add a RC bearing in there, and you guys have seen me do that on several other videos. But in this video we're just going to test the stock trigger, and then down the road we'll see if we can make, if it needs any improvements, we'll see what kind of improvements we can make. So we want to, so there's a hole in the top of the receiver here that will accept this little stop pin that you can make protrude out of the, and why that's important on this kind of gun is with the recoil from a Springer, actually forward recoil, you'll end up with what they call scope creep, especially one, I would say this one would be considered a Magnum. It's rated for over 1,000 feet per second, even with lead pellets. But the recoil will actually cause the scope to work its way backwards, and they call that scope creep. Oop. She is not wanting to line up in the groove there for me real easy, but we'll get it. All right. Before I get it too tight, let's so it seems like I gotta good bite from the thing on both sides. So if I bring up, so that pin just barely sticks into that hole. You don't want to put it up too high. It was actually pushing the ring up off the bottom of the receiver. And this is a rounded receiver. A lot of the 11 millimeter American dovetails are actually flat across the top. This is more like a European type of dovetail. So now that one's set up, and we'll get the front one just kind of loosely placed. Not too tight. Now we want to get our scope and set it up on here. And I'm going to bring you up here to the eye level here and show you how I do this. Okay, let's bring it back again. So now, so there's two things I'm looking for here to get my eye relief proper, so I'm at a good, comfortable position, which I am, and then also to make sure my crosshairs are level. The elevation one is nice and vertical, and the windage one is looks perfectly level. A lot of people like to get the gun really level and then put a level on it. As far as, you know, just everyday plinker guns like this, just eyeballing it is more than enough, at least for me. All right, so let's bring you back over here. Got a little horse in the throat. Been mowing leaves and making my allergies get a little kicked up. So we can go ahead and get these other rings put on here. Now you don't need to be too awful tight with these, just kind of real finger snug with your fingertips, more than enough. If you were to put that in there with the lengthways of the Allen key and crank it down, you're gonna run the risk of damaging your scope. So, but now we want to make sure that the ring attachment to the gun is nice and tight. There you go. That should be very sufficient as far as the I hope the scope actually will work out. It's actually not a bad looking scope to look through it, and just for a plinker like this, I think it would be more than enough. But we'll put it to the test. We'll run a bunch of pellets through it and see if the torque, the recoil of this guy will actually break it. So now I'm going to pause the camera, and I'll get it set up out here, and we'll do a couple of trigger pulls and do a couple of runs across the chronograph, and then we'll get out of here. I'll take this thing out to the hopefully if it stops raining, I'll get it out to the outdoor range. I like shooting outdoors better than the indoor, but if we need to go indoors, we'll go indoors. So stand by. Alrighty, I am back. Got my chronograph set up here, and we're going to go ahead and take a couple of shots with it. They claim up to 1,000 feet per second with lead pellets, and I have so my Meisterkugels are out in the garage, but I have my R10 match, which are basically the same thing, just a little bit more. I think they're higher quality. I'm not sure, but just better inspection during processing. They look exactly the same. They weigh exactly the same. They're exactly 7 grains right out of the box. And we're going to test that. And then I have the Hypermax, which are a 5.2 grain alloy pellet. And we'll see they claim up to 1,200 feet per second with those alloy pellets. So we'll do a couple shots with each. I did just shoot it at my can. I'm at least minute a can so far with the scope. Take a little bit more zeroing when we get it out to the range. But at least I know I'm not going crazy and blowing out the door or whatever. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. I got my chronograph running. I have the screen capture running. So we should be able to get these, assuming we don't get errors. Jeez. It's tough for me to line up the didn't even read. Come on. I've been having such good luck with this thing here lately, and now it's going to start malfunctioning for me again. There we go, 974. So that's not bad, pretty darn close to their claimed 1,000 feet per second with lead pellets. I didn't put the grain weight in there, so we're not seeing a foot-pounds of energy, because I am going to shoot this with 2 different grain weight pellets. But let's do one more, see if we can get one more with the lead. 977, so pretty consistent. All right, let's move on to the alloy ones. If we're anywhere close to the rated, we're going to be supersonic here, so this ought to be noisy. But it does have a suppressor on there, so that's helpful. Oof, yeah, I'm not doing another one of those. Wow. But we had 1174, so supersonic for sure, and really close to the rated. But even with the suppressor, that was really loud. Not garage friendly, but we'll go ahead and stop there. I do have a box of rags down here at my feet, and that's what I'll be shooting the gun into as I'm doing the trigger pulls here. So it is going in a safe direction, and no So I'm gonna make sure and use my lead pellets to keep it subsonic. My ears are actually ringing a little bit from that that one shot there. Not terrible or anything, but let's go ahead and see what the trigger pull does here. Okay, well, that is not bad. Some of these triggers, some of these Crosman triggers, like this one, are pretty woeful right out of the box, but that is not terrible. 3 pounds, 10 ounces. You guys have seen down the road, we can definitely make this a lot better. Let's do at least one more, and maybe we'll do 3. We'll do an average. Okay. It is long and creepy, so that the RC bearing will definitely help with that. Very consistent though. The first one was 310, that one's 311. Let's do one more and then we'll do an average. The cocking force on this guy is not hard at all. This is really easy to pull down. I guess, you know, with that super long barrel like that, that certainly helps. All right, 3 pounds, 13 ounces, which gives us an average of 3 pounds, 11.8 ounces. So anyway, there you go. It is looking like it's going to be a pretty fun shooter. The scope hasn't fallen apart yet. We've taken a dozen shots with it so far, and I'll test it out as out of the box as it comes for starters, and then down the road we'll mess with the trigger, and if it needs to, we'll put a different scope on it. But I think this scope might suffice for now. It'll definitely suffice for the first shots. I'm not sure how far the barrel actually goes up inside here, and then the suppressor is up above it. I'm sure there's probably some open baffle in there. I'm guessing the barrel probably only comes out to somewhere in that vicinity. But there you go. A little bit longer than I expected it to be, but it should be a pretty good how-to how to put the scope on, and good review for out-of-the-box performance. But hope you guys liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.